Well, Ashok, it's good to see you again. When we last spoke, you were telling me about just how the government is focused in Oman about opening up the economy, moving to a budget surplus. Just fascinating. But I
Yes,
really
yes.
want to ask you about what does that mean on the tax front? So share a little bit about what you know about that.
Indeed, indeed. So yes, indeed, it's all a question for Oman about diversification of the revenue sources. We talked about the sector specific focus of the government away from oil, but an important part of the diversification is also making a cultural and fundamental change in the way people look at taxes. We have been fortunate in Oman as well as the rest of the GCC region, oil-rich countries, that the government always took care of its citizens and residents, including expatriates. Our electricity, water, fuel were all heavily subsidized. We were living in a unbelievable world. All that is changing naturally, because government's resources are reducing. So what's happening on the tax front is that Oman had always had a corporate tax system for many years. And unlike some of its Gulf neighbors, Oman had a comprehensive tax system in that all businesses, irrespective of nationality, were liable to a tax, which is now 15% on profits. But that was too little. A corporate tax as a percentage of government's revenue was minuscule. So government, given the challenges they face in the budgetary deficit, they are implementing VAT from next month, which is 5% in line with what other Gulf countries are doing. But they are going one step further. The medium-term fiscal plan, believe it or not, says that Oman will look at introducing personal income tax. Can you imagine that? This part of the world, we are all expatriates, and we love to come to this part of the world. Partly, of course, we like the country, we like the different lifestyle that we can enjoy. But one of the main drivers is also the fact that we do not have to pay taxes. But that is likely to change, and Oman probably will be the first country to look at that as a way of raising revenue. So that's an important development to look out for. It's early days, but the government has made this a public announcement in its medium-term fiscal plan that they are looking at diversifying its tax base and making it more broad-based.
That's a significant change. So when is that? Do you have any sense when that's planned to come in?
Well, the medium-term fiscal plan actually talks about a possible introduction of personal income tax next year in 2022. So it doesn't seem too far away, but we all know that this is not something which can be implemented overnight. It needs a lot of study, and assessment of what impact it could have, what sort of tax system should be adopted. So I'm sure it will take some time, but this is something to watch out for as the government makes announcements. We will have to see how our clients, for example, have to deal with their expatriates, the global mobility, aspects need to be looked at. So that's on personal income tax. I talked about VAT. As we speak, businesses in Oman are super busy getting ready to implement VAT from next month. We are all helping clients. We are helping the tax authority deal with the challenges which are bound to come as Oman adopts a new tax system. But lots of things happening. I've been telling young Omanis who have recently qualified from the chartered accountancy. Generally, they tend to do the UK chartered accountancy, either the full-fledged Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, or more popular is the ACCA exam. And I was telling them that nobody was looking at tax as a profession. I told them this is the time for you to look at tax as a profession. you will be very successful, because Oman will have to depend on taxes, and they will depend on you all to make sure that businesses are well informed and government is well informed to deal with the immense challenges which all countries all over the world have been facing for several decades now.
So fascinating. And, it's such a change in mindset, right? Moving into a VAT system, moving into potentially personal income taxes, just a lot of change.
And it's not only that, needless to say, there are other aspects, some of the BEPS action plans, which Oman is also committed to take. The common reporting standards have been implemented as a precursor to the automatic exchange of information. The transfer pricing regulations are likely to come sooner than later. Related party transactions are being looked at very closely by the tax authorities as far as the corporate tax is concerned. There are increasing sort of scrutiny of tax returns by the authority. Disputes are arising because of the position which the tax authority takes on certain matters. So these are all areas where business community needs to be watching as things evolve and develop. A lot of things to be taken care of.
Well, Ashok, just fascinating. I mean, the other day when we talked about how the economy is opening up and how the government's focused on that. And then today we talked about just substantial changes in the tax system in Oman. Certainly a message for folk that have, investments in the country or are considering, just to stay on top of this and really pay attention to what they're doing, because change is happening as we speak.
Absolutely, and changes happening for the good, because I think it will help Oman to create a sustainable economy and not just dependent on oil, which we all know is very volatile, and it's a finite natural resource. So the next generation in any case has to find other alternative sources of revenue. So Oman probably is forced to do it. It's in some respects, but it's better to do it early rather than do it when it is too late.
Well, just a fascinating discussion, Ashok. Just so much stuff going on. Hey, thank you for your time again today.
Thank you for having this chat with me.
Just fascinating. Okay, Ashok, stay healthy, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.